Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hey guys, Nurhaliza Tania, and for today I'm gonna give or tell about the psycholinguistics material. The one of the topics being related for all of you guys, for all of the children, included Indonesia. Lots of parents do or use this kind of parenting style. The topic that I've taken is the impact of authoritarian parenting on children. Why I do take this kind of topics, because for first it's related, and for second, lots of perspective of people who give their opinion about authoritarian parenting. It could be positive way or maybe negative way. So maybe we will take a conclusion while in the end of the video. Okay, so let's go. For first, what is authoritarian parenting? We know that authoritarian parenting is a parenting style characterized by high demands and low responsiveness. Parents with an authoritarian style have very high expectations of their children, yet provide very little in the way of feedback and nurturing. Mistakes tend to be punished harshly. When feedback does occur, it is often negative. Yelling and corporal punishment are also common in the authoritarian style. Okay, let me explain about this authoritarian parenting style. You know that um they just like, you have to do like this without giving motivations or something. Even the way that they nurturing, it's very little, can say that they treated their children in a cold way without any warmth. And it makes me so sad about this kind of style characterized, because it gives, like, high demands and low responsiveness. It makes the children become depressed, and they have to do all the things that makes their parents become so proud of them. And if they failed, their parents will give big punishment, harshly punishment, and makes them afraid to not got the, what do you call that, rewards or something to make their parents proud. So yeah, authoritarian parenting, it's a style that um I would say it's a negative perspective. I would say like that, because it gives a lot of negative impacts to their children than a positive one. So this kind of authoritarian, it's during the 1960s, developmental psychologist Diana Baumrind described three different types of parenting styles based on her research with preschool age children. One of these three main parenting styles identified by Baumrind is known as the authoritarian parenting style. So the founder of developmental, this kind of authoritarian parenting style, it's being, what do you call that, called, or it's being researched by Diana Baumrind. She's a developmental psychologist. She researched in the preschool age children. So that is the story of why did the words of authoritarian parenting style exist. Okay, so this kind of characteristic of authoritarian parents, there are eight. For the first is, like the first time, or the first slide that I've already explained. For the first, it's demanding but not responsive. You know that they just give her rules. They just give, like, you have to do like this, you have to finish this, without giving a response, a positive response, or maybe give a motivations to their children if it's they want to make these children get the rewards that they want. Okay. And the second is little warmth or nurturing. Well, the treatment and also the way that they treat their children. Well, it's very little. You can say that as cold. They treat their children in a cold way, and it makes me feel sad about that. They not care. They doesn't care about what children think. They just, okay, we already give you like this. We already command you like this, so you have to do it. All of the things that we want, you have to do it, and you have to succeed it with a cold way. And it is not good, actually. So let's go on to the third point. It's a little explanation for punishments. Little explanation. So they just give a punishments without telling the reason, without measuring what kind of mistakes that the students, if they failed, like if they can't fulfill the parents needs, parents wants, and then they just give a punishments harshly. Oh my god, it makes the children become more depressed about that. So for point 4 is few choices for children. As I said, they just give a response, they just give a point, they just give a rules that they make without discussing or telling their children. It's just, okay, you have to do like this, I want you to do like this. You have if it's in a study case, in a learning style case, you have to got number 1 in your class. I don't know, I don't want to know like that. If you're not get it, you will got a punishment like that. So they're not what do I mean is they're not being given not given the choices. They're not take, or they're not being given by their parents. It's just you have to hear it without speak up, or maybe I don't want this kind of rules. No, this kind of parents, it's worst, I think. So for 5.5, it's impatient with misbehavior. It's they not passionate to get the rewards. To get something, it is take a long time. And then maybe if it's in a learning style or learning case, well, if these children wants to get number 1, rank 1 in his or her class, it takes a long process. But this kind of authoritarian parents, they impatient with misbehavior. Why do you don't get this kind of rank 1? Why like that? So, oh my god, it's very worst case that I've ever seen, that I've ever heard. And mistrusting is opposite of trusting, right? So they're not give a fully trust to their children. They just, okay, I give you like a rules, and then you have to do it, you have to know it, and I'm not trust you if you break it, and then you like this, and then you like that. No, they not trust their children. Okay, so they're the pioneer, what they call that. The parents take 100% pioneering all of the students, all of their children's will, all of their children's wants, needs. And 7, unwilling to negotiate. Like I've said before, they don't want to negotiate with their children. They don't want to, because they think you're still child, you're still little, why do you speak up like that? I am your parents, so you have to hear, so you have to hear what do I said like that. It's just it's getting worse while their children already heard about the rules that's being given by their parents, and then they can't negotiate or just speak up. Maybe it's being forbidden for them to ask, or maybe make some punishment, or the rules become more little. No, the parents will not allow them to do like that. And the last, it's shaming. After the results not fulfill this kind of parents' expectations, and then they shame their own child. They're saying they are shamed their own child. It's very poor. It's very very sad. Like, well, students or children, they've they've got something. Not all the children can do like that, can fulfill their parents' needs, because maybe there is a problems, or maybe something, or maybe they can't get it because it is not their passion, maybe, and then their parents forcing them in that way, and that they don't get, or they failed um, for the rewards that the parents want, and then they shame their own children. And effects on the children. Okay, for first is associate obedience and success with love, and then display more aggressive behavior outside the home, because they can't get fulfilled, or can fulfilled of themselves, like they can't speak up, so they will they will search for the people or a person who wants to hear about what do they feel. I mean, yeah, more aggressive, like maybe um having not having a good attitude or something, and then act fearful or overly shy around others, have lower self-esteem, have difficulty in social situation due to a lack of social competence, conform easily, yet also suffer from depression and anxiety, struggle with self-control because they are rarely able to make choices, and experience natural consequences. That the lots of negative effects if this kind of authoritarian parents do this kind use this kind of treatment style to their children. Maybe they're more aggressive, or more fear to speak up. Even they have a lower self-esteem, they're not confident with themselves because of that, and then they have a difficulty in social situations due to a lack of social competence, then because of their parents, and then yeah, it's just like that. Okay, so for the last is confirm easily, yet also suffer from depression and anxiety. This is the worst one. Well, if the children get depressed, then they got sad or something, then yeah, they've got the, what do you call that, mental illness or something, and it's not good for themselves, for their soul health. Struggle with self-control because they are rarely able to make choices, because that authoritarian parents, they just give rules without giving their children chance to maybe to speak up, or maybe just, I don't want this kind of rules. No, because of that, they are rarely able to make choices. So what do you call that, they are struggling with the self-control like that. And then that's all for the discussion of the topic. The conclusion that I've taken is is in a positive and a negative way. In a positive way, I think maybe, well, parents in authoritarian parenting style, if this kind of children succeeded, actually they will got this kind of children get what do they want, like that. So yeah, without punishment, then they've got the rewards that's being prepared by their parents, or maybe like they can get it because of their parents rules. And then they just do that kind of things to get an achievement of what do their parents want. If they've got it, then they succeeded. In a negative way, so like this kind of effect. One, two, 7 effects. If this kind of authoritarian parenting styles, it's being given or it's being treated to their children. And in my conclusion, then the positive perspective, I would like to say it's a negative perspective for me. If this kind of style is being what do you call that, implemented or being practiced by their parents who is an authoritarian person, I think. So yeah, it's like that. It's not good. If you become a parent one day, be more wisely. Don't make the rules that your children can't do it and then just forcing them like that. It's so sad. Just be what do you call that, not liberal and not authoritarian too, but both. You can be both. Like you can give a free or give a chance for them to tell or to confess to what do they feel, what do they feel, like that. So I think it's better for us to not be authoritarian parents while treat our child. So that's all for my explanation that I take these topics because it is related in my in my circumstances, and it makes me feel sad about that. And it gives lots of damage and impacts to their language acquisition and also in their study style, study way, and learning too. So yeah, it's like that. So thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.